What's up, Turds? It's Sean Korea with Team Destined here, bringing to you another video. This time around, it's going to be a gameplay video of a match that I played against my buddy Brell the other night in a finals match in a tournament online, and it was a really good match. It was a good back and forth, some really good plays from both players. So I figured it'd be a good one to watch. It's going to be Puppets on the left versus Omni on the right. All right, this is my cat. I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and get right to the video. All right, so my opponent's going to go ahead and start off by hatching his egg and digivolving into Shumon, playing the promo Orisa, and then which lets him play out Shumon, which Shumon switches top 3 and adds a puppet and Liberator. And then I respond by going into Agu in the back with Nokia, no on-play effect. All right, I think I either didn't have a rookie or was just respecting his plays. He plays a Mirai, which lets him search top 3 and adds a puppet or a Liberator. And anytime he gets to digivolves into a puppet trait, he can bottom deck the Mirai to play a Rissa or a puppet for reduce for 3, I believe. I respond by using the Nokia to play Agu. Agu doesn't let me pick up anything. I don't have anything from trash, right? But I guess I really needed to draw here. A little bricked. I do get to draw from the Sumemon egg because I played a Digimon with CS. And then now I guess I'm just debating on how much memory I want to set him to. I play the Mirai to trash my Omni, which is a CS trait. Lets me draw 2 to try and unbrick, and then I just swing out. And I hit into the Waltz option in security, which I guess in security lets him activate the main effect. I'm asking here because I have no idea what anything does, but I guess it lets him play a puppet. Here we go. So it lets him play a Shumon or a Rissa from hand without paying the cost and places in the battle area. And then basically when any Rissa suspends, delay, one of your puppet may digivolve into a puppet or Liberator from the hand, reduced by 3, which is absolutely cracked. Being able to get a free digivolve is insane. And I swing with the other Agu and I hit another one. So looking pretty terrible for me right off the bat here. He gets 2 free Shumon, and then he gets basically a double reduced or double free digivolve, right? So it's absolutely disgusting. Meanwhile, I have nothing in the back. He brings out his stack and just starts swinging into my security. Really dangerous position that I'm in here now, because he can easily wipe my board and then set up like potential turn kill for the next turn. Or if he has nuts, he can just kill me here. So, which looks like is what he's doing, because he is able to suspend his Orisa, which lets him digivolve for free into the Chaperonemon. Yeah, that's pretty good for the Chaperonemon, and then uses the other option to go straight into, what is that, the Kaguya. So just like that, memory's worth of 6 for completely free. Absolutely disgusting. Beyond unfortunate with my security hits there. But I'm sure he runs it at a considerable amount. He is swinging with his Kaguya. It's going to give Alliance. It's going to be 2 checks. I get my Yugo Tamer here. Switches top 3, adds a CS trait. So it's either going to be the Mirai or the Melga. I add the Mirai. Probably have Melga already in hand. Swings with the Shumon. Add another Yugo. I remember here I'm just like, yeah, I don't think this really matters, but yeah, and then he has the Nian Boots, which does have overclock and lets him swing for game. So that was pretty disgusting there. That option is absolutely nasty. Swinging into both of those was very unfortunate. But honestly, even one of those, he probably could have just popped off and wrecked me either way. So yeah, crazy support that Puppets has received in BT22, in the form of the options and Nian Boots and all that stuff. I know Nian Boots kind of gave that extra push that it's kind of like the Blitz Omni for game, right? But for puppets. So for an already aggressive deck, it adds that extra boost that you need to just close out the game. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start us off. I don't want to get OTK'd again off turn 2, so I opted to go first. I think I might be brick though. Okay, no. Okay, I have a Gabu at least. Gabu searches top 3, adds Guru in name, and then an Agu, Greymon, or Omni, and then puts the other 2 back on top. So put the other 2 back on top, and then he looks to be bricked here playing his, what was that, level 4 puppet? I don't even know what that thing's called. I stay in raising. I'm probably super brick, so I search top, play that Yugo, search top 3, pick up CS trait, bottom deck the other 2. That sets him to 2. It doesn't look like he has too much going on here. He is gonna scramble, go into the Chaperone. Chaperomon, and he does find a rookie, so good for him. And then go straight into the Kaguya. Why not, right? Which, yeah, I'm still a little unfamiliar. So Kaguya gives everything with token and all tokens and puppet alliance blocker. And then when other Digimon are deleted, delete one of your opponent's lowest level Digimon. End of your turn, you can play a level 4 or lower puppet trait Digimon from your trash without paying the cost. So really good for setting up the board. Really good for setting up defense. Being able to pop lowest level is always really nice. I don't seem to have much of an option here. I do end up warping for 4 into the War Grade just to pop the Kaguya. He doesn't have protection. That's pretty much all I got here at this point. I think I might have like a potential blast in hand. But you never know with Omni players, right? You always have to kind of assume they have blast in hand. So that at least deters them a little bit. I use my Yugo effect here to bottom deck itself, play Yugo, search top 3, and add a CS trade. I end up picking up the War Gray, bottom decking the Nokia and the Ultra B. Oh man, looks like I have no rookie here still, so I just do, yep, I use Yugo effect again to play out Nokia for reduced by 2, so for 3, setting him to 2. Kind of rough here still. I'm just hoping he can't like DP minus my War Gray, because as long as like I said, as long as my War Gray is out, I can at least threaten an ace, right? So I think he's kind of respecting that and just kind of climbing up as he can. He plays that Mirai, search top 3, add a puppet or liberator. Sets me back to 3 since I'm gonna go ahead and go to 3 anyway. Still pretty bricked up here. I play the Mirai, trashing the CS Omni, which lets me draw 2. I finally get a rookie. Now I'm feeling a little better. If he answers my stack, at least I have something back in raising area to potentially answer his board. Especially if I end up getting like a Gabu and I have all the pieces in my hand, I can just like pop off the next turn. So I end up just playing Matt and Ty here. I think I just don't want to commit too much, to be honest. Again, I'm just assuming that everything's going to get deleted. I don't really know what's going on with with his deck. So I just have to assume that he can answer my board pretty easily, and I'm just saving resources. I think if I remember correctly, I had like a Gabu in hand or something, but I opted to not play it because I think it was my only Gabu, and I'd rather play it safely during my turn as opposed to playing it and just hoping for another search. He plays a Promo Rissa, which lets him play a Shumo, which lets him search top 3 and add 2 pieces. That's such a good combo. Like, what a nasty combo. Being able to play a body and search at the same time is really disgusting. So he does swing with his level 3 there. I don't even know what it's called. But I do have the blast. Just reading to double check here, and he does. He'll bottom deck one of all the same level and delete another one. So I'm honestly really lucky that I had Omni in hand. Otherwise, I would have been pretty cooked. I had no choice there. I think I definitely had to go into Omni to answer his board. In that situation, I feel like he could have just really ran away with the game just like he did the game one. So now I potentially have lethal here, right? Because I can swing one check, trash with Omni, and unsuspend, swing another. That's basically 3 checks, right? And then I can just, if I have another Omni, I can just swing for game. So I use I don't use Nokia. I just hard play for 3 the Gabu. I grab the Sume first, or I use the Sume to draw 1 first, and then search top 3, adding the Omni and Omni, I think, with the Gabu, if I saw that correctly. So here I am swinging. It's going to be for 16K because of the Nokia, right? So swing, trash, on suspend, swing. And then I realize that I have game here, so I just end up swinging again, hoping it lives. And then I use the warp. So I do also have the matte tie. So I do get to gain 2 memory back. But I have the CS Omni anyway, so which CS Omni you don't need matte tie, which is why I'm actually running less matte ties. Compared to my deck profile, I actually changed my list a lot from my deck profile. I like my list right now. I just really love Yugo. I found a lot of use with Yugo. I think it's really cracked being able to play like all of your CS tamers. It's just so nice, especially like to go like Yugo into like Mirai. That's disgusting. And then find Nokia. That's a crazy amount of search. It's very easy to find Nokia utilizing that combo. Okay, so he opts to go first. He plays that Mirai. Searches top 3, adds a card with Puppet or Liberator. I guess he's breaked again, so I'm really lucky about that because he's going first. So it's kind of, it's kind of scary with, especially against puppets. I go into Agu in the back, play Gabu. Gabu searches top 3, adds a Garurumon, and then or Agu or Greymon or Omni, right? So then I get the Gabu, put the other 2 back, play the Agu that I just grabbed to grab everything else. So really nice cycle there. That's why I've really liked using the black rookies. I've seen some lists without it, and I think it's just kind of rough. I feel like I'm utilizing that search all the time, and it's so nice to be able to like manipulate your hand, because sometimes you just don't want things. You don't want to draw some things, you'd rather draw other things first. But anyways, I'm swinging. Or no, I'm not swinging. He's playing a puppet, going from his level 4. So I'm gonna set it to, I do choose to bring my stack out. I'm like, okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm looking for all my draws, so I play the CS Gabu, which lets me draw from Sume. And then I search top 3, add the Nokia and the Gabu for the CS and Omni and text. His puppet gets destroyed, which deletes my Agu. And now I still have at least, I have 2 Gabus and 1 Agu, so there's something to work with there if he hits a tamer in security, but if not, it's not the end of the world. I knew that was like a safe play just because it was the only way I could set him to 1. And that way I can at least get something started back in raising. He goes into another, the Shishumon? And then goes into level 5. I forget what that one's called, but let's see. He does opt to use his Mirai, which lets him play the Orisa, which lets him play the Shumon, which lets him search top 3. My gosh, the comboing power is like seriously so disgusting. You can get so out of hand if you have all the pieces in your hand. And then he's just going into the Kaguya and then popping his puppet gets popped, which pops my um 2 Digimon there. Jeez Louise. Like, not even gonna lie, I don't even know what's happening here. Uses the option to go into the level 5, which lets him pop, which lets him go into the Kaguya, which lets him bring back the Shumon. Is that right? Is that what just happened? Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm going back in raising there. Going into the starter Agu, I didn't have this in my list originally, and I kind of saw the way, especially against like Royal Knights. It's so good. You're constantly having at least a lot of times you are having at least 3 color tamers. But against Royal Knights, you're always gonna go against them with like 10k or higher DP, right? Which is a requirement. Lets you warp for 4, which is really nice. Helps you keep turn in certain situations. He is gonna swing into my security alliance. It's gonna be 2 checks. Nokia plays out. I don't use anything, and then he hits a Mirror. So really good for me there. Again, I trash a CS Omni, which lets me draw 2. Goes into Shoo, and then plays which lets him play what's it called, the memory setter Arista, and then he goes yellow scramble into Nian Boots, which is really disgusting there. Nian Boots is really strong because it does let him play another puppet when one gets left behind or leaves the battle area, right? So yeah, lets him play a level 4 lower puppet from his hand. Then one Digimon gets minus 3k for each of your Digimon. When any of your Digimon are deleted, you may activate one of this Digimon's 1 Digivolving effects. And it's really nasty. It's really nasty just because when it would leave, the level 5 has the inheritable of you can delete a puppet to prevent that deletion. So a puppet gets deleted, Nian Boots reads that, sees that, and he activates the 1 Digivolving, plays a puppet, and then does minus 3k for everything. So it's really good, really punishing there, especially with DP minusing. It's very strong against certain decks that just like have outright protection, right? Against like bouncing or dilution effects. But so I'm in a really tough scenario here. He is swinging again. I think with the overclock, right? So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies on board. So basically, if I get I'm in a situation where if I get rid of one of his attempt to like remove his body, he's gonna delete one of his puppets, which is gonna let him play another puppet and give something minus 15k, which is really tough, right? I don't have an option out, so I can't. I don't have Miraculous, so I can't use that as my out. In fact, I just bomb decked it with Hugo, so that's kind of rough. And now with 1 security left, he has 5 Digimon on board, 1 in raising. This is really a tough situation here for me. And all I have is a warping Agumon, so I love that for me. At least I'm at 3, and I have a Nokia that reduces Digivolution cost, I guess. And then I have Nokia that lets me play for free. So these Nokias are really coming in clutch here. I draw a card off the Sume and then search top 3, and I add, was it like both the Melgas with the Gabu effect, right? So no longer need Mirai in this situation. It's basically do or die. I need that memory. And might as well have extra pieces in my hand. I'm just double checking my effects here. Again, I'm quite unfamiliar with puppets. This is only like my 2nd time playing against it. So I was kind of learning on the fly with a match here, learning how strong puppets can really be. I'm just really double checking to make sure that I know these effects here. Okay, so then I do end up using. This is kind of important here. I had both in hand. I had both the CS War Gray and the on play War Gray. the old, what was it, BT17 Wargray in hand, but I opt to go into the old one. And you'll see here why in a second. But basically, I warp for 4 because he has a 10k or higher. Also, I have multiple colored tamers, which lets me warp into Melga. Honestly, it would have been better for the on play one as well, but you know, this one's fine as well. No, actually, this one was probably the most ideal because I get to bounce the lowest level, so I bounce one of the puppets. So that's one less. I bounce a Shumon, so that's one less target that he can destroy, right? So now I go into a DNA. Oh, by the way, I only digivolved into Wargray for 3 because I have Nokia, so I reduced by 1. So that's when Nokia comes in super clutch there, right? Now I go into Alter S, which Alter S deletes highest level. So he is going to use the Nian Boots protection effect to pop the Shumon. And he said I think he's not gonna opt to not use the effect. I swing into security here. It trashes security. I unsuspend. That's not gonna matter because end of attack, my Alter S is gonna go back into onto top of my security, right? So I trash a yellow scramble. Or did I hit it and he was just supposed to activate it? I'm not sure there. Yeah, that might have been a mistake there. But basically, my Omni plays out the Wargray and the Melga, right? So the Wargray has that on play effect, and this is what I was saying with why I chose that one instead. But you know, he was kind of smart here, in not using the Nian Boots effect. I think he was hoping to bait me out here because I opted because here you can delete the level 4, right? But I knew that Nian Boots effect would activate. He would play something and give it minus 9k, right? Because it's minus 3k for each body. And then if it's something that can give like minus 3k, minus 4k, then either of my Digimon are dead and I don't have protection. So I would just be dead in the water. So that's why I chose to use the other effect. You actually can do that even though there's no like target. You can choose the effect and it just won't go through. So I chose the other effect. Did not delete anything. And then I went into another Alter S. So honestly, absolutely disgusting here. Alter S now finally deleted his Nian Boots. And that deleted him because he can only protect once per turn, right? So now I swing trash on suspend, hit one, trash one, hit one. Hits a Mirai, he searches top 3, he can add Puppet Liberator, basically add anything. End of attack, puts my Alter S back on top, plays it out again, and then this time I can kill the level 4 there without any fear because Nian Boots is now gone. But all this is just kind of extra because I go into Omni, the CS Omni, which lets me swing trash and then swing for game, right? So but I was just trying to be like extra safe there. I'm not sure what could be in his security and whatnot, so I want to at least board wipe if I could. And yeah, that was just a really, really good match. I had a lot of fun. It was crazy to see Puppets do its thing. Really scary. I was just honestly really lucky to have all those Alter S's in hand. Super fun match there. I hope you guys liked that commentary. Let me know what you guys think about Puppets. That was some crazy stuff. That was the final in the finals of an online tournament. So obviously he put in some work going through other opponents. But I'm happy to have squeaked it out and gotten the win. Hope you guys like this one. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more competitive Digimon content. But thanks for watching, and peace out.